Well, I often hear people say I got 10 commandments for something. I wonder where they got that idea. It's a pretty good idea, actually, but I don't know how many commandments I'm going to give you today for communicators, but I'm going to try to give you a few. Um, we're going to see how they develop. The first commandment for communicators today, and that's whether you're writing or whether you are speaking, is thou shalt not bore thy audience or thy reader. Now, I don't even know why it has to be a commandment because if I bore you, you're not going to stick with me for very long. But just in case you're a very compliant person or some professor has given you, for some reason that I cannot understand, an assignment to read or listen to me, I have to live by that. Thou shalt not bore thy reader, thou shalt not bore thy listener. The second commandment is, and again, it's sort of in your hands, thou shalt not waste their time. Thou shalt not waste their time. Well, I think it is possible that you might be interested enough to stick with me when I'm not boring, but I am wasting your time. And so I want to give you something that's worth something. And the reason I know that people will allow me to waste their time is because I allow people to waste my time. I just don't bother to turn it off or put the book down or to switch channels or whatever. And I will engage in allowing someone to waste my time, which is tantamount to wasting my own time. Okay, here's the third one. Thou shalt not be trivial. You know, there is so much depth to plumb in the most mundane subjects that we don't really need to skim the surface as a way of life. You've heard it said that someone might be a mile wide and an inch deep. Well, I don't think that's necessary. I think we can go a little deeper. And maybe we don't need to go as wide, but we can go deep. Was that four? I don't know if I'll get to 10. I don't even know if I'll get to five. Well, I know I'm going to get to five because I have a fifth one right now ready for you. Thou shalt not blow thy listener or thy reader away. Don't blow me away. Well, occasionally I want to be blown away, but it's best to be a little more conversational, to be a little more authentic, to be a little more real. Now, you get attention by being explosive sometimes, but explosions are not the way we want to live our lives daily and moment by moment. Most of the time, we need to take in the information and the inspiration and the thought material that is put before us on a more even keel basis. So, as a matter of, moment by moment, day by day, don't blow me away. Thou shalt not blow thy reader, thy listener away. I think I'd come up with a sixth one. And this is actually in that other 10 that you maybe heard about. It's just, thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not lie to thy reader or thy listener. Now, is this to say we don't use fiction? Oh, sure, we use fiction. But we, at least at some point, identify it as such, or at least imply that it's fiction. But let's don't confuse fiction with fact. And the reason for that is people are going to go out and they're going to quote us, and then they're going to quote each other. And before long, there's going to be a lot of fiction out there in the public, and people are going to be making decisions based on that fiction, and it's wrong information. And so that gives me a seventh. Thou shalt check thy sources. Thou shalt check thy sources. Now, you don't have to be an expert on everything, and every now and then you might say, I've heard it said somewhere that, and I'm not sure if it's true, but at least you've qualified that. But if you're presenting facts, and it really goes with number 6, but it is number 7 because I want to emphasize it that way, check your facts, check your sources. And the 8th one follows from it. Thou shalt give credit to thy sources. It's only fair. We don't steal loaves of bread, and we don't steal our neighbor's personal property, tangible property. Why should we steal intellectual property? So give credit where credit is due. Do your best to give credit. Number 8. What should number 8 be? Number 8 should be, don't overly prolong your list just because you want to prolong your list. Actually, I don't even know if that's number 8 or number 9. I've lost count. I think it's number 8. But don't just make up stuff that's not important just to keep people hanging on, which takes me to number 9, if in fact it is number 9. Thou shalt not take thyself too seriously. You are not the be all end all of everything. You're pretty special. I think you're pretty special. And I think it's okay if you think you're pretty special, but you're not the be all end all of everything. And you are not without your foibles, or your flaws, or your imperfections, or your goofiness. So let yourself be goofy from time to time, even when you're dealing with serious subjects. And the 10th, if in fact it is the 10th, because I'm not here to count, I don't think. Maybe I am. But my 10th and your 10th is, thou shalt not whine. It's not all about you. The world doesn't know you're living. Don't whine. If you got a complaint, register it. Be real, be authentic. Let us know where you hurt. But don't whine. Don't complain about everything and everybody and how bad the world has treated you. Just let it hang out, Say, I feel this way, I feel that way. But don't just whine. Oh, I think we could go on. 11, 12. Don't slander people. Don't drag people through the mud. Get off your high horse. All of those things. But you see how easy it is to get 10 commandments? A lot easier than it was for Moses. He had to climb a mountain. But I hope they'll help you as a communicator, as a writer, as a speaker. And I'm looking forward to reading the transcript and figuring out what I said. All the best to you. And let's get together and have a conversation one of these days.